Okay, all right. How's everybody doing? Great. All right, just okay? All right, I heard that. I heard that one back there. All right, so look, the good thing about us and the good thing about the NFL is it's Wednesday in our world, and when Wednesday hits, it's time to move on. It's time to get going. So I know there's a lot of questions out there, and I know you guys probably have a lot of questions you want answered. I think here's what I'm going to answer just so we can move on to Minnesota. I think for us, we got a chance to get together with the team this morning, and we spent a little bit of time on Green Bay. We know we had to turn the page and get to Minnesota as soon as possible, but structured the day when you have a Monday night game. So, you want to make sure that you're addressing anything in the game that came up that needs to be fixed. For us, we took a good look at about 30 plays in the game that we know that we got to go out and coach better and execute better. And in the end, those are the plays in the game that matter. Those are the ones that make a difference in the game that we know we got to perform at a higher level, both from coaching number one and playing number two. And those are the things we need to get fixed going forward. And I think the team understands that. We understand that. We don't make excuses. We understand we got to win. And the bottom line is, in order to win in this league and to win convincingly or to win at a high level, it's up to the coaches and it's up to the players. And that's the bottom line. So for me, I'm staring at a really good Minnesota team. I'm staring at a team that has a lot of talented football players. They're very well coached. I have a lot of respect for Coach Zim. I think he does an unbelievable job up there. And I think that team is on fire right now, and they're getting ready to come down here and play a great game. So for us, our focus is on the Vikings. Our focus is on moving forward. The rest of the season and all that stuff, we'll take care of all that as we go. But right now, we got to get ready to play a game at home, and we got to get ready to play a game at a high level. This is a team that's running the ball really well. They're controlling the game with their run game on offense. They have a phenomenal defense. Their front is a major issue. The schemes that they run are a problem. They've got a lot of players that have been playing there for a while now, and I think you really see the nucleus of that team that's been there for about 4 or 5 years, and the leadership of that team taking over and just really, driving that team to be what they are. So for us, if we don't focus on that, then we're going to have a major issue come Sunday, and I can't let that happen. So we're moving ahead. We're trying to get ready to go. And, honestly, I'm trying to do the best I can to give you as much information as possible to write on those topics that I know everybody wants to ask about. But for me, it's all about Minnesota.
Matt, I'm moving forward.
I'll come back. Go ahead.
I'm moving forward. I asked you after the game how you get past two tough losses. Is there a point in this week where you'll know if your team is focused in the way you want them to be?
I think, I kind of maybe had the same question last week after, Kansas City, and I think you try to maybe answer it the same way. I guess we won't know until we get to the game. But I'll say this, in the game last week, I thought we were focused on that game. I thought the guys were trying to go out and compete hard in that game. Everything I would say up to this point about our team, I would say our team knows that. They're mentally tough to do that, and I anticipate our team doing that, just doing everything they can to go play. We'll see how Sunday turns out from that standpoint. We got to go play the game. But I think we'll be out there fighting really hard. It's the one thing that I love standing up in front of that group every single day, knowing the mental toughness and the drive, the competitiveness that team has to go try to win every week is it's great for a coach because you can just put everything into it for them.
You mentioned how well they were playing on defense. Obviously, Rose, Griffin, Hunter, Smith, Barr, the names. They've got a lot of really good names. But what does it add to that group? The way Anthony Harris and Eric Kendricks are playing right now.
Yeah, I think Harris has really allowed Harrison Smith to do some more things with the front and kind of be able to be down in the box a little bit more, be aggressive. He's a really instinctual football player. He's good in the deep part of the field, but when he gets down closer to the box, you can really see some of his run instincts, and I think they're doing a great job of really, a lot of the guys, most of the pre-snap looks, they're like 8 yards from the line of scrimmage. These guys are tight. They're down in there really, really tight. The run force is fast. It's quick. They're on the ball extremely quick. And Harrison Smith is kind of freed up, I would say, a little bit with Anthony Harris, being able to handle some of that stuff in the back end. I really always think Kendricks and Barr, I think they're two outstanding linebackers. I think they play really well together. I think they've had that camaraderie for a while now, and I think that they both complement each other really well. So, you see that on tape. You see those guys moving through traffic. You find that open space, and there's a lot of run-throughs with this defense. These guys, they come free. Both of them do, and that's where they're just getting teams off track from that standpoint in the run game and getting them behind the sticks. And once that happens, here comes all the different pass packages and the fronts and the looks and the double A gap stuff, and you got to deal with all that. Hang on one second.
Could you sense to a certain extent today when you met with your players, Matt, that they kind of were a little bit more up and ready to move on, and how much do you gauge?
Yeah, the good thing is obviously it was a player day off yesterday, but a lot of them were in trying to take care of their bodies and do the right thing, and just on their own handling a lot of their business in the building. So from that aspect of it, I think we're kind of trained to turn the page and get going, and I definitely sense that this morning. Sure, absolutely. Yep.
Shorthand is kind of, it seems like a similar pattern every week where he practices and then ends up being declared out on Saturday if it's a road game.
Sure.
What's going on? Is he just in a holding pattern at this point? Is he not getting better?
No.
Is there an IR thing with him that maybe you should have done in the past?
No, definitely. I think the thing for us, with him, it's truly day by day. And I think one of the holdovers of when you miss training camp type of days where it's every single day in pads and every single day in that accumulative sort of rep mentality of what I'll call the violence of the line of scrimmage, that you need to practice and you need to be able to show enough stamina to be able to do that down in, down out. Sometimes when we get to the season, that gets spaced out now, over a couple of periods of time because the pads are once a week in those situations, and you only really get to see so many opportunities. And we're trying to build up those reps as we go through. So he's doing everything he can every single day. He works really hard at it too. So, obviously with a short week for us and, probably not being in pads this week because of the short week, that's another hard situation for us, but he's going to do everything possible to try to go play.
On the injury front, will Austin Bryant be back in practice this week?
Tell me one more time, please.
Will Austin Bryant be back in practice this week? I think he's eligible to start practice.
You know what? I don't know. We'll see how that goes. As far as I know, that clock's getting close from that aspect of it. But we're trying to do everything possible to make sure when we do run that clock or get to that point, I'm listening to the doctors from that standpoint, knowing that there's a certain window here that we're allowed to take a look at that, and knowing the schedule we have coming up. And again, being on a short week, it's a little bit tough for us to kind of see some things from that standpoint.
You guys have gotten off to fast starts the last couple games and just maybe not been able to sustain that, I guess. In your eyes, what's been the problem with the offense, I guess, or the team, I guess, not being able to sustain that, and how do you fix that?
Yeah. I think we've had, two really big games. I think we're learning that to play against really good teams in the NFL and to play in those big games, we need to start fast and we need to finish the ball games, and we need to finish them off better. It's not really one thing, but there are things on tape that we see that we know we got to improve on and we got to fix. And a lot of that stuff, the players see it too, and they got to understand that. A lot of it will be similar things that we talked about with certain fundamentals, certain bad football plays that we know we just got to eliminate to give ourselves a better chance and not put ourselves in a bad situation, certainly from that aspect of it. So for us, that's what we focus on the finish of a game, trying to make sure that we're doing those things absolutely right at the end of the game. The game of football it's a great game, and one of the things about it that in the beginning of the game, there's certain plays or pressures of the particular situation that are different when you get to the end of the game, and some of those plays are, as the game goes, those plays become more impactful to the outcome, and learning how to fight through all that and finish those plays off is really where we're at right now. We've got 2 weeks in a row of doing it, playing aggressive, trying to play at a high level against outstanding teams that are, hostile environment in Green Bay, a great team coming in here with Kansas City. And those are what the big games in the NFL feel like, and that's what they are, and that's what we're trying to make sure that we try to do a better job of finishing those games.
Do you believe in that then, that you learn how to win, I guess? You learn how to close out games? Yeah, closeout's a little bit of a different word. I would say, you do got to learn how to, push through some of those situations. Absolutely, and they're all a little bit different. And we've had guys that, again, we got guys with experience, we got guys with not a lot of experience, but it's really about how the collective group works together. That's the beauty of football. So even if you have one guy that has a lot of experience, he can't really transfer that information to somebody who doesn't, and you need everybody on the same page all the time in order to perform in those situations. So continuity is a big part of it, and we all know in the NFL that continuity is hard. It's changed every year. Teams change every single year, and through the course of the season, teams change. That happens too. But being able to try to keep as much continuity as possible as you go through the season is always helpful in those situations, certainly.
Cousins has kind of righted the ship the last couple of weeks for them. I guess no pun intended. But what as a defensive coach, what's impressed you about him these last couple weeks in particular?
Yeah, I would think he's doing a really good job with decision making. I think he's really trying to get the ball to his go-to players in
in just critical situations where I think they're very calculated plays. Give credit to Coach Stefanski and the game plans that he set up. I think he's doing an awesome job, getting the run game going, letting the line of scrimmage kind of get going, take over up front. I think he's using the tight ends really well, I would say, Rudolph is in a little bit of a different role than he's been in the past, but with the addition of Irv Smith and some of the things that he's able to do, they're putting in defenses in a lot more of a bind. We talk so much about, and I know we've mentioned it in this room before, about sub personnels and 11 personnel, things like that, and kind of the trends of the league. I would say they're a little bit different in that facet. Well, they'll have a fullback on the field, they'll have multiple tight ends on the field. They're creating a lot of mismatches or problems for defenses and trying to put them in situations where they're not really sure how to match it or how to get lined up in some of those areas. So I think from a game planning standpoint, they're doing a really good job of that. And I think they're giving plays, to Kirk Cousins that are plays that he knows where the ball is going to go right now. He can get the ball out very quick. The decision-making is very fast. And when you balance that off with a consistent run game, I think that's what you're seeing that offense, or why you're seeing that offense be so productive.
Yeah, this is kind of a milestone question, but Don Muhlbach, I think, has moved into the top 100 all-time career games played. It's for not a glamorous position, but what that represents.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I think he's 97 right now, right? 233 games or something like that. I mean, that's an unbelievable accomplishment. Mule impresses me every single day. Mule walks in this building every single day trying to earn his job. And for a guy that's played 233 games and is 97th on the list, that's an impressive trait of humility and someone that just comes to work every single day to work hard to prove his worth. And I'm lucky just to be around that guy. I've learned a lot of football from him. And, like I said, I'm lucky to see that guy every day.
Speaking of milestones, Stafford's about 80 yards away from 41st fastest to 40,000 yards. What do you make of that statistic?
I think pull myself out of my mode here for a second, but I think when you step back and look at stuff like that, I think it's just pretty amazing. And I think it goes to his resiliency and his drive and his competitiveness that he shows every single day. To be honest with you, we were just having a conversation and comparing some notes in Minnesota, and it just takes me back a minute every single time that he and I have those conversations of just how competitive he is, how much he wants to win, how much he just, continually leads this team. And that's why, you hear something like that or a stat like that and you're like, it's super impressive and it's super amazing. But I also kind of step back and I look at it and go, yeah, it's about right. Because that's just who the guy is. I think he's that driven. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Jelani played a bunch more snaps this week than he had against the Chiefs. Was that a matchup thing or a way to sort of counter some of the injuries you had at other spots? And how do you think he held up?
Yeah, I think for us, some couple different packages that we had in maybe this week that were a little bit different than the Chiefs game and some matchups and things like that. So I think it just kind of wound up that way. But I think he is definitely progressing every single week. He's improving every single week, and when we can get him out there, I don't feel like there's any drop off in anything we do, and I think in most cases he helps us. So we have a good front. We have some rotation up there, which is healthy. That's important for us to be able to do that. So we understand that the games are long, especially when you play a quarterback like we did last week, and we know kind of the game that it's going to be at the end. You want everybody as fresh as possible. So some of it was planned, and some of that's just kind of by how the game went from that aspect of it.
You got the ability to create explosive plays, big plays, and I'm gonna do what I can to contain them.
Different type of slot receiver because of the size. I don't know. How do you feel about that? What he presents there, I guess.
Not a bigger guy, but what makes him, better than a lot of guys is his competitive nature. He works hard, and I applaud him for that.
You've gotten your hands on a lot of footballs the last few weeks. Just what's been maybe the secret of success for you the last couple of weeks?
Really just my mindset, working on finishing, getting my hand on the football. It's something I take pride in, and the guys in the secondary all are competing with each other, to have the most interceptions or PBUs or whatever, and that's just something to keep us going.
So how do you hold that over Slay's head that you got the most right now?
No, I ain't gonna hold it over his head until the year's over with.
Oh, it's all right.
I was talking about
ain't gonna hold over there till the year over with. We good.
How can things like that help a group, though, when you have that competitive nature, when you've got a lot of good players in that secondary that can make plays, and you have something like that going on?
I feel like we just get better each and every day. Every week we get better, and we got great receivers to help us get better at that. And we just keep working on it every single week, in and out.
What about finishing games? I know that you guys have been up early, you guys have been forcing takeovers and doing all the right things, but what will it take for you guys to kind of take that next step to make sure you can close out opponents?
Just doing a little bit extra. We know things haven't been working out in our favor, but I just know, people who work hard continue to reap benefits, and our whole team works really hard, and as long as these guys work hard, it's going to turn out good for us. So.
Can you explain the competitive nature of the DB room a little bit more? Just like how are you guys charting, keeping track of who's leading, and what does it mean when
we write it on the board? We see it every single day, who's leading and score whatever points or whatever. And Slay think he the best, so everybody in there trying to prove that he ain't the best. We all feel like we're the best, and that's what matters.
You said points. So you guys have your own way of keeping track of it?
It's just the different ways we have a little point system, but obviously we have the stat book, and that's one of the things we use as well.
So what's a pick in your point system?
Excuse me?
What's an interception?
Let's look at DB in the room. Don't you lie. Don't you lie.
I don't know. I can't even hear you with.
What is an interception worth in your point system?
Interception?
Yeah.
Oh no, an interception.
Because you got one last week, so I don't know if that. Puts
we got our own point system.
Oh, okay.
It's not like coach tallying it or whatever. We got our own point system.
Yeah.
So, we're just trying to see who's gonna get the most picks, most PBUs.
You and Mel are the second worst ball skills.
Okay.
So you're leading right now?
I don't know. I ain't even paying attention.
What does the winner get?
Nope, I lied.
Winner. Hey man, I'm doing an interview.
How many pitches you try to count?
Winner. We're gonna think of that later. At the end of the season. Right now. It's just bragging rights right now. We're all just gonna continue to compete. So.
How do you block out all that noise? Sounds like he's got bragging rights and he's not even leading.
That's Darius. Darius gonna be Darius. So. I'm gonna always say that. Darius gonna be Darius. Sure.
Your job
But
is to say
does that push you guys? I mean, beyond just the wins and losses and what's going on the field? It's got to be kind of a friendly thing to do, I guess, right? To encourage you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we know that we all we got, so we going, whenever a game go a certain way, we gonna put it on our shoulders, and we gonna try to make the plays, and see, Slay threw me all off track. I don't even know what I'm thinking right now. But he threw me all off track, man. I'm over here trying to do it.
What kind of pressure are you guys facing this week, though? Obviously, with them, they can run the ball so well, and now with Kurt throwing it as well as he is, their play actions in the mix, and just how much of a challenge is Minnesota for you guys this week?
I mean, it's a huge challenge. Definitely got guys who can make plays all over the field, wide out, running back, quarterback, whatever. And the challenge that we're going to have to do is not beat ourselves and, not have as many penalties this week and, execute better. And, that's basically what we face.
We got a really good team coming in here this week. Obviously a big division game. The one nice thing about playing Monday night and going into a Sunday is, you lose that game on Monday night, quicker you get out on the field and change that last outcome. So doing everything we can to get prepared. Obviously a little bit behind the 8 ball time-wise, but our guys did a great job today coming in, trying to lock down the early stuff that we got to get going and get ready for the game.
Identify when you mentally move on, like, okay, I'm not pissed anymore, it's time for Vikings. When you get here, the next...
It's pretty quick, for me especially, playing on a Monday night, I got up on Tuesday, it was time to move on to the next one. We spent some time with Coach today, went over some plays, obviously, that we thought were important in the game that if we do a better job on in all 3 phases, we have a better chance at a better outcome in that game. But after that, we moved on. It's borderline disrespectful to think about that game any longer. We got a great football team coming in to play us this week, so we understand the challenges that come with playing Minnesota. They're playing with a bunch of confidence. They've played really well the last couple of weeks, scoring a bunch of points on offense and doing a great job on defense of doing what they always do, which is attack and make it tough on offenses.
What's been so tough to score? Made them so tough to score on it the last 3 times? You've really gotten field goals. And that's about it.
Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah, they're a really good football team. They do a great job of not giving up big plays. They're great front. Their front seven's really, really good in all phases, against the run, against the pass. I think they're a top 10 defense in every category I can look at. But they just do a good job against everybody. They make life tough on you. You got to go out there and execute the details and play physical.
Is the pressure the biggest thing with them? I think you played them 18 times. You've been sacked 63 times. It's like 20 more than the other team you played. They obviously do that double A gap stuff and bring the pressure. Is that the more difficult things with them?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have a unique pressure system that's pretty good. But at the same time, if they just want to rush forward, they're pretty good at that too. They've got talent and scheme, which makes them a difficult out.
Has the way that officials have called pass interference this year really changed anything from maybe the way you approach certain things, whether it's throws or anything like that?
No.
Last week, Matt LaFleur called you elite. This week, Mike Zimmer called you outstanding. Says he thinks you're playing some of the best ball he's seen you play. What do you think of your own performance this year?
I think I got a lot of room for improvement. There's been some good plays, some big plays, but some plays I'd love back too. I'd love to get us in the end zone a couple more times than we have already this season. And I can always be better. Always looking to find ways to be, more successful and get our team scoring points, which is, what the quarterback's supposed to do.
You mentioned 4 for 9, I think, in goal-to-go situations. It's been an area you guys have kind of struggled with. Is that just something that's you just need better execution? Is it something you have to look at schematically?
Yeah, we've had our chances, whether it's in the run game or the pass game, we've had chances and just haven't come up with them. Obviously, it's a huge point of emphasis. You got to make sure that we're getting points, especially doing a great job of getting it down inside the 10. You do that, that's tough to do, tough enough to do in this league. And get 9 chances, I'd only come away with 4 of them. That's not good enough.
Matt, the last couple games, you guys have started strong, and then the scoring hasn't kept up. If you figure out kind of why that's happened, why the scoring after your early success.
Yeah, I think it kind of boils down to what we were just talking about, execution. We've done a nice job of getting the ball down in there and just haven't come away with enough points. In this league, turnovers, which our defense has done a heck of a job getting, and making sure we score off those turnovers, we haven't done a good enough job of that. We've gotten explosive plays, which lead to points in this league. We just got to finish those drives when we get those chances. That's on me as much as it is anybody. I feel as responsible as anybody about getting us into the end zone. That's all I want to do is help us score points and help us win games.
And Matt, since you've been here, I mean, there's been bizarre. Some people may say you guys got screwed from Calvin not completing the process, the game in Seattle, the game the other night. I mean, what is it about the Lions that continue to get the raw end of the deal here?
I don't know if it's that. I'm not really worried about it, to be honest with you. There's nothing you can do about it now. You just keep moving on. And like I said, Minnesota coming in here, they got my full focus. So didn't think about that for long at all.
But one quick follow-up. When it does happen, though, like
consider
it's happened before. Like,
yeah,
you don't want to yell and scream about it.
No, just gotta move on to the next play.
You don't think it would help if you a voice like yours just kind of lost your mind a little bit because it keeps happening to Detroit?
I don't think so.
No.
Are you sure you haven't lost your mind? One thing about the Vikings, they've kept a core of good players together at all 3 levels.
Yeah.
The guys that you see year after year after year. What has given that continuity, if you can remember?
Yeah, no, it's been. I think it's really good for them. Obviously those guys communicate really well. They play well off of each other. Like you said, they've got it at all 3 levels of the defense. Sure. Both up front in the linebacking core and in the secondary. I turn the tape on, and it's almost like the same thing every year. I'm watching the same guys playing at an extremely high level. It doesn't seem like anybody's dropping off, and for anything, they're getting better. So they're a really talented defense, a really tough challenge for us.
Speaking of moving on, against the Vikings, if you throw for 87 yards, you'll reach 40,000 for fastest quarterback to that statistic. What does that mean to you?
I don't know. Hope 40,000 isn't the last number I hit. I'd like to keep playing and play well. The biggest thing for me is want to get the bad taste out of my mouth of losing 2 in a row. You know, I want to win the game. If I throw for 86 and we win, I'll be happy as hell. So.
Does it matter at all? It seems like you've hit a lot of the fastest 2 markers throughout your 11 years. Like, does that matter to you when it's 10, 20, 30, that those add up?
I don't know. I don't really think too much about it, to be honest with you. I don't go into any season looking at milestones you're going to hit or any game. I just go out there and try and play and help us win.
Kirk Cousins is kind of one of your contemporaries. What do you respect most about his game when you watch him on your career?
Yeah, I think he's been really successful. Done a nice job the last couple of weeks making some huge plays, throwing the ball down the field really nicely. So, you know, he's a tough guy. He's always in there, hanging in there, taking hits and delivering the ball.
You'll always, you know, see me figuring out what I did wrong, what I may be able to do better, and you know, that's what I'm going to do this week, and then you know, we're going to move on and just try to you know, this team's a really good team, so we got to move on and obviously win this week and play as well as we can this week. So.
TJ, are your hurdling days done? Like, are you?
Nah, I'm gonna go out there and play the game. I'm not worried about anything else. I'm just going out there and play the game, whether that, you know, that opportunity presents itself or not. I'm not gonna change anything based on one thing. So.
Have you ever had a concussion before, high school, college, anything like that?
No, I mean, you know, it's part of the game. You know, something that we've all signed up for. Something that, you know, everyone's willing to, you know, do this for. I mean, our living. You know, I mean, that's what we're here for. So, it's something that happens, and you got to move on from it.
It looks scary from afar. Going through it, what was your?
I mean, it was my first one. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I mean, I was back to normal in, you know, a couple hours, so it wasn't crazy. You know, like I said, though, the coaching staff, the medical staff here did all the right steps, all the correct steps in order to get me back, and it also helped that we had the extra time. So.
Guys, did you actually watch it again? I know some guys don't like to watch things like that again. Did you watch that play?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it showed up on whatever you're doing, so yeah.
Maybe just one on Minnesota too, just what you've seen for them. Obviously, terrific defense, rated in the top 10 in just about every statistical category. Just talk about that challenge.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota's a great team. You know, their secondary is really good. Their guys up front's really good. You know, their entire defense is ranked 5th in the league, I think I heard today. So, you know, we have a challenge, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, just stepping up to things like that, and you know, just being able to, you know, compete every day in and day out, and then you know, trying to get better and trying to work with this team has been a blessing. You know, all these guys are great guys. It's awesome to be in the locker room with, and you know, we're just looking forward to this opportunity.
In your preparation, have you got much into their pass rush yet?
Yeah, I mean,
just wondered your impressions of some of the crazy pressure schemes that they run.
I mean, yeah, they have plenty of pressures. You know, they play a lot of different coverages, more nickel and dime, or they don't have any dime, more nickel and base. But you know, they play a lot of different coverages off of that, and they disguise it really well. Play a lot of, you know, their DNs are really good. You know, you're gonna have to give credit to them. You know, we respect this team a lot. You know, just based on film, they put it on there, and it's just an opportunity for us to, you know, go out and compete.
Yeah. I was just curious what you thought maybe of that, but he had said told the officials he was looking at the sky the whole game, and that
he looked at the sky the whole game.
That's what he was saying, yeah, and because he was saying your hand was to his throat and stuff. But,
yeah. He said my hand was at his throat.
That's his quote. Yeah. I guess you disagree.
Yeah, I'm disagreeing with that. Yeah.
Give me a sense how you were feeling a couple days removed from the game, and after going over the film, one of the things Coach said is that rather than focusing on the officials and what didn't go your way and things you couldn't control, you guys looked at things that you could have controlled.
Yeah, you know, obviously, you know, it was a situation where, you know, we definitely, I guess, hurt ourselves as far as, you know, penalties, you know, not executing, missed tackles, a lot of things that, you know, like you said, we could have controlled, and you know, so that's that's one of the things that, you know, we as far as moving forward, you know, understand that we could have put ourselves in a better position to not put it in the hands of officials. So,
has this been a tougher loss to put behind you?
To behind me.
Just you guys, the team in general, and yourself.
Nah, I mean, you know, it's part of the NFL. And, you know, you just gotta try your best every time you go out there, and you know, sometimes you fall short, and you gotta come back in and work harder. So yeah, it's kind of.
Can it serve as fuel for you guys? Motivation?
You know, it's motivation for me just to, you know, have opportunity. You know, it's you know, this is a game that I love, so you know, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna work hard, and you know, if I'm, you know, yeah, I'm gonna work hard. Yeah.
Hey Trey, how many times have you watched the penalties, and does it still make you angry? Does it still infuriate you? Or
you know,
lack of penalties, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. When that clock is 0, is nothing you can do about it. So, you know, you just got to put your energy towards something that's going to be sustainable, and that's, you know, the hard work we put into this week and going into next week and then the week after that. So, you know, this season is early in the season. We got a long season, so. You know, we put our energy towards, you know, the things that we can control, you know, we'll be where we want to be at the end of the year. So.
But is that difficult in the aftermath?
Is it difficult?
Is it difficult
you know,
not being angry?
You know, as a competitor, you know, obviously, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, like I said, you just got to understand that, you know, nothing you can do about it now. You know, even if they did say it was wrong, the score is still the same. And, you know, there's literally nothing you can do, so ain't no point of putting no energy towards it, and you just gotta, you know, yeah, just work. So.
Can it be extra play just to make sure you're using the right technique?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I was using the right technique, but you know, yeah.
That's what I'm wondering if
yeah.
I was right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, I knew I was using the right technique, but you know, it is what it is. You know, obviously, like I said, they saw it their way and they called it their way, so you know, it is what it is.
Can something like that be a little extra fuel for the next week?
You know, fuel for me is just, you know, knowing I got an opportunity to go against another team. So, you know, as far as extra fuel, you know, it could be, but you know, it's an opportunity that we got as a team to go out there together, to go out through this week, work hard, prepare, and you know, go out there and kind of get these bad tastes out of our mouth.
What about Minnesota? What have you seen from them? Obviously, you know, they run the football really well, but now they're throwing it too. And just that added extra added dimension, what does that bring to them?
Yeah, definitely very physical run game. You know, they got great backs that run the ball hard, run the ball well. Offensive line that definitely gonna block it up. So, and you know, like you said, the guys on the outside that's you know, can make big plays, get separation down the field. So, you know, it's gonna be a task for us, just, you know, defensively, understanding that there's a, you know, a great offense coming in, and you know, we got to prepare well for them.
Were you aware during the game about TR to tackle this campaign and the official Coleman?
Nah, I wasn't aware. Yeah, he came out aware.
I mean, it's been reported that he was telling the guy that you were doing. He was campaigning.
Yeah, nah, I wasn't aware. I guess that's part of the game that, you know, he feels as though.
It's Troy Vincent.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is, and that's part of the game. So, you know.
It's been great. It's been fun. I'm not done yet. Everyone keeps talking like, "Oh, congrats, you're there." Like, there's still a long way to go. Hanson's a few years away. I gotta catch him. So.
Is that the goal? Do you have goals in mind for how long you play?
Goals as many as I can get, but I mean, it's always have fun. Someone to chase, and especially because he's a friend, so it's always fun to mess him about that.
Your coach had some really high praise for you. He said, "I'm lucky to be around him every day." How does that make you feel?
Good, but I mean, I think we're lucky to be around everyone in this room all day. I mean, this is our family during the season, so it's just we love to come to work. We love working together, and this is our brotherhood right now.
Hey Dad, how did you find out you got that?
My dad told me after the game. Actually, it's pretty cool.
How did he tell you? Did he text you or you saw him?
Oh no, he came up to the game and told me afterwards. So it was after the game. It's pretty good to see him. Came up from Texas.
What did that mean?
It's awesome. I love when my dad comes to games.
But I mean, what
And
did
he's not sick of it after 16 years.
Shout out to the GOAT.
Jeez, man. Really?
You make me feel.
Put a shirt
really
on,
young.
man. You're killing me.
I'm sorry. Part my back. That's the GOAT.
He
Give me a
makes you
break.
feel young?
Makes me feel young.
Some of the grace from
And
him.
gave me the courage to retire early.
Thanks.
Matt talked about how the positions changed over the years quite a bit. How would you characterize that?
Different rules, different alignments, but you still got to snap the ball to the guy that's right behind you. So that's always been the same. It's just different ways to go about it, and coaches always find a new way to rush you and test you. So that's just part of the evolution, I guess.
And the Vikings in particular bring a little bit more up the middle, according to what Patricia was saying.
A lot of teams are aggressive, but they're definitely one of them.
What do you take, what aspect of your longevity do you take most pride in?
That I'm still here to talk to all y'all. It's kind of fun.
Is it
Yeah.
is it really something like everyday gratitude that you're still around?
I
and
love
relevant?
coming to work every day. It's you definitely don't take it for granted. So I enjoy it every day.
What do you think about your personal history?
There's not a I don't even think about that, honestly. I'm just worried about today and then this week, and then we'll take the rest of it as it comes.
Did you ever think about how this all started here, coming for a tryout next year? You're here for 15, 18 years.
15, 18. Let's get to 18. That sounds good. I try not to think about that because there's so much other stuff to worry about. But I mean, if you think back, it's been a pretty crazy trip, but I'm not done yet.
Is there anything that stands out for you? Any season, any memory, any moment? I mean, I know there's been so many of them.
Yeah, there's lots of fun ones, and then to be honest, a lot of it kind of just runs together. It's kind of just this is my routine. I love it.
How important is it? I know we've had the conversation several times just about the continuity with snap, hold, kick, but to have guys like Prater and Martin, in that try.
No, it's definitely fun, especially with these two guys. I mean, every year we're gone, and then we come back, and the three of us kind of just pick right up where we left off the year before, and every year we just get more comfortable around each other, and then those are my guys. So.
How special is the support of your family, your wife, and your kids to sustain an NFL career like you have?
My wife is amazing. I have no clue how she does it with the three kids. Even when we didn't have three kids, I don't know how she did it. But I couldn't do it without them. That's for sure.
What did you think? I mean, being drafted and starting off another team coming here. What was your expectation for your career early on?
Get to a game. I mean, just try to play one game, and then after that, try to get a second one, and then at the end of that year, try to get invited back somewhere, and you never really make it. You're always kind of on edge. Like, this league changes daily, so unless you can show that you can still do it, then they'll find someone else that can.
That is what Matt Patricia said. He said every day he comes to work trying to earn his job. Is that a mindset? Is that just something that's always been part of your DNA?
Probably a little bit of both. My dad, growing up, just go to work, do your job, work hard, keep your head down, do what you're supposed to do, and everything else takes care of business. So.